IdeaMuffin.
So I had this great idea, and I was thinking we could make a show about ideas. Each show is very short. Each month we have a new speaker who has their own idea, and we'll go through the month and just talk about different things, different strategies, different ingredients that can help move your idea forward. And we are back with Shaina Mesnick.
Hi.
Hi! So excited about our episode together. We are going to be discussing shopping locally today. Shaina has a business where she is super promoting shopping local. And I actually kind of do that in my own business as well. I own a company called rsvphere.com, which is Paper Invite Online Response. And I'm trying to push people down to the local invitation level and invitation shops. You're bringing together several different people to make your business happen on a local level,
Right.
on a local street, in like one of the best parts of Richmond. So we talked about it on our last episode, but share a little bit about what you're doing to promote locally, and let's talk about what that does for the economy.
Well, like I said last time, I have all these different vendors, all from Virginia. Everything's handmade. I found a lot of my vendors on Etsy and through Twitter. So I'm just getting them together and selling their products on Cary Street. And like she said, it's one of the best streets in Richmond.
I think her building a business in general, in and of itself, gives us a place to shop locally, which is important. And then what that does for the economy, we were discussing the 350 Project, which came out in March of 2009. And it breaks it down for you what you could do on an individual level to help promote shopping locally in your community. And let's be honest, how many times do you just not think about it and you're like, oh, I'll just, this is convenient. It's on the right side of the road instead of the left. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You go to that gas station because it's over here. So this episode is really just to kind of help you stop and think about what it means to promote the local businesses and what that can mean for your own business. And people promoting yours if you have a company yourself. So talk about the 350 Project.
The 350 Project, basically for you to go out and find three local businesses that you love. And the 50 is to try to spend $50 every month within those three businesses to support them. And what that does for the community is, for every $100 that's spent, 68 of that goes back into the community if you shop locally, versus I think it's $43 if you shop at like a big box store. So that's a pretty big difference. $42.6 billion in revenue.
1 billion. $42.6 billion.
It would generate that much money if
everyone is participating in
that.
Well,
if only half of the people participate. So could you imagine if we all did it, how much money would be brought back into the community?
Shopping locally supports the product, supports the people who are there, supports the businesses, and all around for your community just as good. So we're just encouraging you to shop locally, specifically because I think the local resources, we were talking about it, like a more intimate buying experience.
You feel like you're you know them, they're your friends. When you walk into that store, you go somewhere to get a service done, and you know that person, they know your name, and they can chit chat with you.
If you have an idea or you've thought of something before in the past and you haven't moved forward with it, think about what effect your business could have on the local community if you're selling a product. Just think about every time you buy as well. It doesn't have to be necessarily like her model where she found some people and made it available, something that really in Richmond wasn't available in the past. Taking your idea forward, which is what this show is about, and providing another business for people to buy from locally. It's pretty cool.
And also, employ people.
Yeah.
That gives jobs to people locally. They spend their money locally.
Yeah, so we're all about it. What a bad dream. So I was thinking about the idea that you don't move forward and you're like, man, I wish I would have done that because somebody else came up with it. Well, here's the book about that. And then here's the other book that's called All By Myself, and you don't want to have an idea and only keep it to yourself. But
that's right.
Yeah, you want to share it with everybody else, right? Just like IdeaMuffin. So join us each week. Get ready now for our technology and our finance tip and our funny muffin.
Funny muffin.
Thanks so much. So raise your hand if you have technology questions.
Technology tip.
Hi everybody, this is Pedro Martinez and this is your tech tip of the day. A lot of times you want to send files over email but they're too big to be sent or to be received by the recipient. In that case you're going to need an FTP site. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, and it's basically a web service that allows you to access files on a remote location on a server via a web interface or a client application that can be installed on your computer. I personally use FileZilla. And FileZilla is basically an open source application which basically is free. You can download it, manage the files, and even install a server so you can have other folks access your computer as well. So check it out at filezilla.org or Google FileZilla. And this is your tech tip of the day. Thanks.
Funny Muffin.
So the customer orders a bottle of champagne. I'd never opened a bottle of champagne. I go in the back, I get it from the bartender. The bartender's looking at me going, okay, this is what you need to do. You put the glass and the this and the that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So I go out there. I go to the table. The people are looking at me. I take the champagne. I put the cloth over it after I untwist all the metal and stuff. And then I hear the pop. And I lift the cloth. And out comes champagne. And my first reaction was, oh! And so I put the champagne bottle in my mouth and I started to suck on it. And sucked all the champagne that was coming out. And the people were looking at me and I told them, I said, hold on, we're not done yet. And then I went and got them a new bottle of champagne. But yeah, so that's my funny muffin.
Wait, well, have you ever had an idea and been like, ah, what do I do? That's why you should watch IdeaMuffin. Watch it every week. That is exactly what you need.